I have to be the bad guy and bring us back to reality. What's a creative way to cut or lower the budget?
I think a few ways. One is with your space, your venue. If you're working with a corporate client or a group or organization that has access to something that they own or throughout their normal business transactions occupy, to cut costs, to think about the time of year, the time of week that you do the event, that you host the event, the time of day, mornings, afternoons, weekday versus weekends. With your food and beverage, it can be more difficult and challenging to try to cut corners with food and beverage because it is such a key component of the event. But one of the things that you can do is to dual purpose the food and the beverage with your decor. So if you need to spend heavily on food and beverage, then present it in that manner, and that can compensate for some of the expenses that you might have put into your decor, your floral, and you have your food displays very nicely lighted, and just make that the focal point of the room versus necessarily the floral arrangement on the tables. Dual purpose your decor. If there's anything that you can present to the guests as a gift or favor or premium to take away with that's also functioning as your decor, you can do it in that manner. Discussing the issue in the budget, being forthright with the vendors that you're working with, letting them know your budget and how creative you can be with that and what their ideas, because it's their profession, so they can probably share with you more opportunities to get what your client is looking for and what you're looking for, but do it in a manner that can be respectful of the budget and keep you in line. The marketing, which we touched on a little bit, utilizing the free tools that are out there, as well as if you do have to pay for some marketing, but be conscientious of the free opportunities with social media, social networking, and things of that nature. I think you took in.
Speaking on the two other parts, she covered the surrounding parts of the event very, very well. And the two nuts and bolts, the labor and the food. And also just as a point, dealing with Jim a couple of times from Event Source and letting the person who's selling you or renting you the equipment give you some ideas on how to save some money as well is a great idea. But nuts and bolts, when it comes right down to it, you're providing service and you're providing food. You look at the type of event it is, like Michelle was saying, the time of day. Luncheons, if you're looking to save a little bit of money on food, you offer a nice salad to a group, okay, instead of a full-blown, soup, salad, entree, dessert, and people walking out like this. A nice light, soup, a nice cup of soup, a nice salad, and sometimes to cut the food costs even more, smaller desserts that are just a little bit less expensive, but well prepared and well placed. A nice bowl of sherbet with a sugar cookie and a nice decoration on the plate can go just as far as a big hunk of cheesecake. And then looking at labor, a lot of times when you look at certain services, going with a buffet service is a little less labor intensive. And people understand that if the food is good and there's a lot of it, they may rather put their own together than have to pay an extra $5 or $10 a person to go to one where they're being served for it. So a couple of different ways of looking at cutting costs.